What is the next step in terms of tech stack? What is the essential software that you need? You can use Jobber, Pazer, House Call Pro, Field Edge, whatever I think we started on Razor Sync. Your goal is to grow this really, really big company, 5, 10, 15 million, 20 million upwards. Then getting on ServiceTitan as early as possible is going to be the best thing you can do. It's great for CSR incoming calls. You can track calls. You can track your team, thousands and thousands on all these APIs. Podium does an amazing job of being able to follow up with customers and text customers and get payment from customers $2,000 a month or a year, So I highly recommend using Google Drive. I don't think ServiceTitan actually offers anything like that. We try to keep it simple so that we're not overcomplicating essential software for home service operations. All right, we are going to be talking about essential software for home service operations. So you've been running your business for a little while now. It's been growing. Awesome, right? Really, really good stuff. You move from a pencil and paper, you're dispatching on a whiteboard, who knows? You start moving on to maybe some Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive. You start using Excel. This is absolutely perfect for early companies, right? You're trying to save money, grow the business. You want as much net as possible in your pocket to pay off debt, whatever the case may be. But at some point, generally what I say around, you have a office personnel, you have 3, 4 techs, maybe yourself, you're still working as a tech or in the field doing estimates, and you have an office person, maybe a helper here or there. What is the next step in terms of tech stack? What is the essential software that you need? And if you are a home service business, there really, in my mind, is only one, and that's ServiceTitan. You can get away, don't get me wrong, don't take that the wrong way, you can get away with using a different software. You can use Jobber, Pazer, House Call Pro, Field Edge, whatever I think we started on Razor Sync. It will work, and you can grow to 1 million, 2 million, maybe 3 million. On Pazer and some of the bigger ones like Jobber, you could definitely get up to a $5, $10 million company. Like, it's not going to stop you from getting there. That being said, at some point there will be an issue of scaling, and that's because all of these don't have the same functionality that ServiceTitan has in the grand scheme, in the long run for high growth companies. So if your goal is to grow this really, really big company, 5, 10, 15 million, 20 million upwards, then getting on ServiceTitan as early as possible is going to be the best thing you can do. It sucks because it definitely eats into margin. It's extremely expensive, especially for a small business, but you'll be paying for it later by not setting it up correctly and having much more data to transfer over into the software. So with that, and talking about the transfer, realistically, is ServiceTitan going to do that some of these other smaller companies don't do as well? So you have your dispatch, right? I think they all do dispatch decently well. Where are they? How long did they get there? ServiceTitan and some of these the bigger ones do a much better job of updating the customer, sending out automated messages saying, your technician is X far away. It's more professional versus just before we had to manually text out, hey, make sure to call the customer when you're on your way. Now it's an automated text message. They can see where your GPS is, how far, what's your ETA. It is absolutely wonderful. It's great for CSR incoming calls. You can track calls. You can track your team, your call team, and say, hey, how many are they missing? How many are they getting? How long are they online? So it's just all this raw data that really allows you to track your employees and helps you to make decisions in the business to better your business in the long run. And with that, running reports. The amount of data that ServiceTitan takes in and then can cut in different ways for you is ridiculous. There's so many options and so many different ways you can run reports, but there is one giant key here. And that is that it's set up correctly. Because it's so inclusive and there's so much to it, it touches HR and it touches time cards and it touches marketing and running dispatch and CSR and calls and blah, 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 blah. It touches everything. And so with that, there's just a lot of data in. And so if you don't set it up right, the data out doesn't come out correctly. On a few episodes ago, we had our friends over at Home Service Engine, who are consultants for ServiceTitan. And if you get the chance, if you're thinking about going to ServiceTitan, if you're on ServiceTitan, but know that yours isn't set up correctly, give them a call. It's worth it. 100% worth it. I set up my entire ServiceTitan wrong, worked with them. It's right now. It's so much better. Everything is coming through properly. I'm getting all my reports that actually make sense, and I'm not worried about getting false data anymore. So I'm the case where I set it up wrong. They fixed it for me. If I could go back in time, 100% would hire them. No questions asked to help me out. I actually looked on Upwork, couldn't find anyone to do it for me. So these are the guys and gals that will do it for you. Work with them. Trust me, it's worth it. Moving on. So this Service Titan covers every single portion of your operations in day, whether you're doing time cards, right? It's all on there. Whether you're following up, or you're doing marketing, or you're doing sales, or you're doing estimate, it is all on there. And so when people ask me, what does your tech stack look like? I think early on I asked John about that, and he goes, keep it simple. Use Service Titan. You could find yourself spending thousands and thousands on all these APIs and they all talk to Service Titan, right? So like Podium is a great example. Podium does an amazing job of being able to follow up with customers and text customers and get payment from customers via text and all these kind of specialty items that Service Titan doesn't really do. And so they're wonderful, but they're also $2,000 a month or a year, excuse me. And so you can use them. I mean, I'm not saying don't use Podium. I use Podium currently, but what I'm saying is just be very cognizant of how many of these are you're logging into your Service Titan, how their data is coming in, and making sure that it's accurate, good data as well. So with that, there's some other few softwares that I definitely utilize. I utilize Zapier, which talks to my Service Titan. It builds all my automation from all my marketing from TikTok and from Facebook. It loads it all right in, all my lead flow. I've used different types of estimating software, but in the end, I found, once again, keeping it simple, just utilizing what Service Titan has. It's not the best. It doesn't paint the best picture for the customer. That being said, I don't think from a sales point of view, having a nice little picture of the HVAC unit or of the roofing shingle or of the spray bottle that the pest control company is going to use is really going to drive that final sale. It's going to be the person, the information, the way that it's told. So with that, we actually stopped using it altogether. It was just too much work, too much hassle. Very neat software. Maybe it's great for you and your business, but I think at the end of the day, we are trying to take all of our softwares and move singularly into Service Titan. And then from an accounting side, QuickBooks. For smaller companies, I mean, you can move to, I think it's Sage. Once it gets bigger, we're going to eventually move there. But as a small company, QuickBooks works really well. Definitely continue to use it. Have your bookkeepers use it. It talks well with Service Titan. There's no issues there. And then in terms of any other programs, I mean, I still use Excel. I still use Drive. The ongoing meme is me telling my employees, it's in the Drive. All our SOPs are in the Drive. Because realistically, I want them to be able to find and easily locate information that I've already given them 100 times, whether it's pamphlets or data on this unit type or an SOP on how to get into our storage unit or what is the code to X, Y, or Z. And then so we can control who gets that data and who doesn't by sharing. Great for in-house employees locally and also great for overseas employees. So overseas employees have their very own folder. Every single SOP is in there, detailed out in very nice detail. So I highly recommend using Google Drive. I don't think Service Titan actually offers anything like that, but any kind of cloud-based information sharing, and it's free, so it works really well. And I'm trying to think of any other software. I don't think I really use any other software anymore. Historically, I'm looking at my phone. We have used some other softwares like GetHearth. They are not paying us, but GetHearth is a financing company that will actually, they're kind of a broker for financing. So they broker your deal out to like 1,000 banks. And then they'll send you back saying, hey, this guy's qualified, this is not qualified. Here's are their offers from the banks, which has done decently well. We use Slack. Slack talks to Service Titan as well. Slack is a great intercompany application or software that we utilize. We use Grasshopper, Dialpad for calling. I use WhatsApp for talking to overseas employees. I have JobLink because as you all know, I have been a tech before, so I have all my tools, which are Bluetooth, because I'm fancy like that. And they talk to my JobLink, so I can see all the refrigerant levels and whatnot. I mean, that's it. Square, we used to use Square. I don't use Square anymore. I don't like Square. But for small businesses, sometimes you don't have that many options. Service Titan has a pay feature, so we moved to that. It was about the same price. And then, yeah, that's it. I mean, like I said, we really try to keep it simple so that we're not overcomplicating any of it. Let us know if I missed anything. I mean, I'd love to hear if you had any software that you find works amazingly well. DM me, HVAC on Twitter. Thanks all.